red buttons.
I don't know what he was telling me about them child.
They told me to shoot them. Because, like, there's nothing wrong.
I have witnesses, everything. It's just that Workers doesn't have, she has a problem with me. No, you can lock that door. They can kick it in. This has gone on too long with our people, with these people taking our children because of their, whatever, their ignorance. It's pretty ignorant that I have to be treated like this. Hello? The police are here coming to apprehend the children. I know. Yeah. Even in your system, see, they even have ads.
Their names.
Yeah, but she's not in the, I didn't sign no birth certificate,
Well, they're being
nothing,
apprehended.
too bad.
We've explained to you what's going on.
Just not in the system. Why are they asking, who made that legal determination that acts in the system? Who made that legal determination that acts in the system?
Yeah, that's it.
Who made the...
Stay calm.
Okay, I'm not fighting, I'm going next door. I'm not fighting, I'm going next door. I'm going next door, I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting, I'm going next door.
Enough.
No!
Enough.
No!
Enough.
Dog! Let go of me! Dog!
Let her go!
Dog! Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You know I take care of my children. I don't drink, I don't do drugs. What's your problem? What is it? What is it?
You can explain it to the judge.
No, you're going to explain it to all First Nations that you're stealing children. No! No, I didn't do anything!
Go against the car.
I didn't do anything! I didn't do anything! I didn't do anything! Help me! I didn't do anything! I didn't do anything, son! God, help me! I didn't do anything! Please don't do this for me!
Hello everyone, welcome to GGN. Today is Friday, November 9th, 2012, and I'm Darko. You can adjust your audio there, sorry if it was off from the video. Alright, I'm going to just start right now, and this article, or this video came from this article. You can check it out, links will be posted in YouTube's video description. Canadian police from Winnipeg reviewing gripping video of confrontation with Cree women and child services. So basically they're kidnapping this, I believe it was an Indigenous woman, her kids. So, and they don't care. Like you had the female police officer in the car sitting calmly. I think she was actually Indigenous herself, selling her own people out, saying, oh, you're going to have to talk to the judge. No emotions, right? You're kidnapping people's kids. You're going to have to talk to the judge. And then, of course, the male police is saying enough is enough. Enough, right? Because that's how parents talk to their children. So, you know, this is just another case for the argument against the state. You know, you can't have a big bureaucracy and have one thing without the other. Like yesterday when I covered about a toddler, 3-year-old or something like that, who's probably not even potty trained yet, being a mother of that child being ticketed $2,500 for it urinating in the yard. And then, of course, another person who is trying to use their front lawn to grow food, a garden. And, of course, he's got to fight city council, just like other people have to fight city council to stop the aerosol spraying, to stop the fluoridation of water. And they just sit there with big smirks on their face, right? Because they know what are you going to do? These people are completely bought out. They're aware of it, and they do nothing about it. So that's why I said you can try doing things politically, or you can just withdraw from the whole madness of it. Astonishing, they said thyroid abnormalities found in Fukushima kids declared okay by government. Officials ordered doctors to stop examining patients. Dr. Suzuki has been running the health survey along with Dr. Yamashita, claimed it is unlikely thyroid cancer rates would rise and that the results found so far were over 43% of children had these abnormalities were ordinary. These statements defy evidence. Over 43% of the children with these abnormalities is quite different from the 1.6 or less of children in the Nagasaki study. So this Suzuki has also held the opinion that thyroid cancers won't show up for 4 or more years, studying Chernobyl. This conflicts with Suzuki's claim that it is unlikely cancer rates would rise. Further evidence shows that thyroid damage was actually occurring right after Chernobyl, and it took years for studies to actually be done. And this is actually from 2011. This article up here is from November 8th, 2012. This is a year ago. Vancouver, Canada, radiation tests show iodine-131 in rainwater at almost 100 times above U.S. drinking water limit. Of course, they don't care because they're already putting toxic waste into your water. The jet stream is carrying the radiation from Japan to North America, so it disperses in the atmosphere and falls over the Pacific Ocean on its way over, but some has reached the west coast, falling down with rain and mixing with seawater. It's also accumulating in the seaweed. So the EPA is supposed to protect you, right? They're supposed to protect the environment. Well, this is what they did from April 2011, same time period, remember? EPA to raise limits for radiation exposure while Canada turns off fallout detectors. So, real nice. And in the New England area, New York, I believe, in the subways, they've actually installed these little radiation detector monitoring systems, they say, for terrorism, right? Kind of like the answer to the whole deficit and the budget and the fiscal cliff. The usual tactic or answer is to just basically sweep the problem under the rug. So they just raised the debt limit, right? That's what they did last time. They raised the limits for how much you can be poisoned by this radiation. U.S. intelligence teams to track wildlife poachers in Africa and Asia. Conservationists say drive is the first time wildlife trafficking has been discussed as a security rather than environmental threat. America's intelligence community was ordered to track poachers in Africa and Asia on Thursday as part of a new global drive against illegal trade in elephant tusk and rhino horns. So maybe while they're over there, they'll just go ahead and invade Mali while they're at it. Brazil embarks, and that's the thing. See, they care about their wildlife. They care about their resources as they're going to take out countries to steal them. Brazil embarks on cloning of wild animals. The jaguar is one of the first 3 species that Brazilian scientists will attempt to clone. So, interesting, because they're actually trying to bring back the woolly mammoth and other things. So, I mean, there may have been some truth to Jurassic Park about bringing these animals back when they really should go extinct. Century-long drought was Mayans' undoing. This is just, wow. When I first read this, civilization failed to adapt successfully to climate change. And this is why I hate this term, because they completely change it from global warming to climate change. So now if you mention global warming, they're like, you'll get slapped in the face by these eco-terrorists, eco-fascists saying, it's not global warming anymore, it's climate change, because they've been updated with the programming by these eugenicists. So they say the Mayan civilization collapsed at the hands of a nearly century-long drought. Following a new study, they confirmed that the existing climate change theory. It's confirmed the existing climate change theory. Mayans' rise and fall is an example of sophisticated civilization failing to adapt successfully to climate change. First extensive rainfall prompted a population boom and resource overexploitation. Then things got drier and the resources grew scarce. Political unrest developed. Something that's interesting to note, I heard a while back, I think it was from Stuart Swerdlow's, it's a theory, so you don't have to agree with it or anything, that the pyramids were actually an ancient form of weather modification. And I actually wonder, when you talk about the lost continent of Atlantis and those types of people or civilizations, that was actually sunk due to the result of weather modification weapons. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they were actually using them back then. Because what? I mean, they have the pyramids. I mean, there's pyramids all around the planet. I mean, how could that happen? Most people did not, back then, most people did not even leave their woods, their neighborhood, or their country, right? So how did this happen? How did all this technology and these pyramids go around the same technology all around the world? But it's a great article. It's really thick propaganda because, like I said, after Sandy, now they're pushing for the CO2 tax possibly to replace the Social Security. And, now Obama and them are going to be pushing climate change after the engineered storm that hit New England area. Like economic sanctions, though, weather modification, it's weather wars. I mean, you cause political unrest with these damn things to be able to cause droughts and stuff like that. So I guess my point is the people that brought all this technology, whatever, the pyramids and whoever they were worshipping, basically, maybe they destroyed him. Maybe they built him up just like they build everyone up, these little powers that be, and they brought him down like this, just like they're bringing down the U.S. empire. That's a great way to tie it back to say, you should feel guilty about changing climate. Millions of GMO mosquitoes released without risk assessment or oversight. It goes on and says regulatory decisions on releasing genetically modified insects biased by corporate interest. Said London, Munich, Thursday, November 8th, 2012. A briefing published today by public interest groups highlights how regulatory decisions on GM insects in Europe and around the world are being biased by corporate interests. Of course, this isn't going to happen. They're talking about UK biotech company Oxitec, and conflicts of interest should be removed from all decision-making process to ensure the public has a proper say in these plans. I'm sure they're going to have a say, the public. Denver mail carrier steps around man who died. A U.S. Postal Service is defending a mail carrier who stepped around a Denver man who collapsed and died near his front door. The Dale Porch was dropped off at his home last week after working a night shift. And it says the family member says hour later, the mail carrier walked by the body to deliver the mail but did nothing to help. So the family says the carrier told them he thought the body was a mannequin, a decoration left over from Halloween. Disabled woman raped on Los Angeles city bus. So we're talking about the fabric of society, right? Los Angeles County Sheriff's officials say they're looking for a man accused of raping a mentally disabled woman on a city bus. Well, now that in Baltimore they're recording conversations on buses, maybe that'll help, right? Gotta have that in all the buses. Emergency, and part of the climate thing and eco-fascists is they want to get us out of cars and independent individual transportation into public transportation, so you can be tracked wherever you go. Emergency landing after passenger prays in the aisle. United Airlines flight lands safely at Dulles. Crew reported emergency because a male passenger began praying in the aisle. The spokesman said the passenger wasn't following flight attendant instructions for landing. He was escorted off the plane by police. Man, it's, I just saw some on InfoWars today about a survey that people would allow themselves to be, basically have a full cavity body search or anal probe and stuff like that, along with carrying shock bracelets just to fly. I mean, 35%, that's almost 40%, almost, and it's inching towards half. And, really, it's probably more than that when it comes down to it. People are going to do whatever they're going to do to get on these planes to travel. I mean, it's just god-awful what they do to people. And it's just horrible how much people will allow themselves to be taken advantage of in the name of security. And those female, whatchamacallits, they're mostly female, but flight attendants on those planes, man, they're just as bad as the female cops, man. It says here, ex-oil boss appointed head of Church of England. The UK Queen has appointed Justin Welby, a former oil executive who made a bishop just over a year ago, as the next leader of the Church of England. So why do you think that looks like a little fish head? Just, serpent people. That's what it goes back to. Whether I believe it or not, or you, doesn't really matter. In fact, if you look, I think those are like little fish there. It's interesting because Putin was referred to as the global Shah of oil, so I guess they have to have their own religious figure for that as well here in England. Thank you.